Ace trial, MEC, and Alan Winde. Okay, I do. I have thoughts, and I've given you some thoughts in the past about this rehiring of Bonginkosi Madikizela. I don't agree on one thing with respect to what that voice note that we got from a listener had to say. I don't think that Bonginkosi Madikizela is corrupt. I don't think that it's fair to call him that corrupt official. But he did lie. And at that level, after these 11 years in office that Alan is so proud of, at that level, a lie of that nature is abhorrent and unacceptable. So for me, for Premier Alan Winde to say, well, he's done his time, he lost his salary, he lost his position. No, he had to relinquish his position. He didn't lose it like a pair of socks or a left sock. He had to relinquish his position because he was found to be lying. And I can give you the other side of that argument, which is I can ask you about all those salaries, all those months of salary that he earned on the basis of that lie. Those haven't been lost. There have been no punitive measures. This happened entirely on his terms. I step down. I disappear from the public light. And who knows what agreement might have been made at the time that, Donald Grant is going to be stepping down in 18 months' time. Just get away from the heat. Step down, my brother, and then we'll sort you out on the other side. I don't know what kind of conversations happened back there, but I've been in enough politically charged conversations in corporate to understand what they might be. So for me, I don't think that there's any falling on sword that's happened here. Quite apart from that, though, there are two areas where I have deep concerns with how Premier Alan Winde has approached this. The first is he ran on a ticket of a government of integrity. And as I always say, the DA holds itself to a far higher account than any other party in this country. You don't see the EFF campaigning on being cleaner than everybody else. That's what the DA goes by. And so for me, this is the antithesis of that, particularly in the context of all those other liars with respect to the degrees that I mentioned earlier on. Or the degrees that don't exist, who continue to get positions, or the misappropriation of funds with Hawks arresting them. There's just not enough consequence here. If we're just as frustrated about Khusela Diko getting to call her own leave of absence when she was implicated in PPE scandals, and she got to tell Jackson Tembu, I'm going on holiday, you should be just as frustrated at somebody telling other people that I'm going to just sanction myself my way in a way that makes me comfortable. And the second, and perhaps this is the one that is the most disturbing, now on competence and ability. As I understand it, this would not be his only special advisor. He's got a private advisor as well. And my question becomes, if I have contested a particular seat, like the candidacy for Premier of the Western Cape, against another person, and I have convinced my party that I am so good at this, that you should put me forward as your candidate, and indeed I do win. When I then turn around and hire my opponent to advise me, I'm sending a message not only to my party but to the electorate that perhaps you should have hired that guy. Should the DA have taken up Bonginkosi Madikizela then as their candidate for Premier, if he is the one who needs to whisper in the ear of Alan Winde in order to do his job? Should Obama have had Senator McCain as his advisor when he walked into the White House? The whole point of contestation, as Alan Winde raises it, is that, fine, we support one another, but I don't know about being, my right-hand man. Then you should have been running together. It raises more questions than it does deliver answers for me. And there are a range of concerns that have come up from various opposition parties, which we will play. But I just have to say, on the face of it and in the assessment of it, I do think, as much as he is not corrupt, and I think that he is a nice guy, the hiring of Bonginkosi Madikizela as special advisor on my tax money is an inappropriate move, and definitely the antithesis of what the DA and Alan Winde say they are. And I feel very strongly about that.
Breakfast with Refilwe Moloto
on Cape Talk.